Hi everyone, Kamari Valentine here. I would love to let you know about an online workshop on the 21st of November 2022, where we will be looking at how to stress less this Christmas with a focus on self-care. Some of the things we'll be looking at include how to protect your psychological energy. If you are interested in that, check out my Facebook page or drop me a line. You can do this via Facebook, or if you want to shoot me an email at kamari@kamarivalentine.com. I'd really love to see you there. If you can't be there in person, please feel free to submit your questions, and I will be answering those questions and also posting a link to the recording. So register for that workshop and let me know what your questions are. Hi everyone, it's Dr. Kamari Valentine and welcome to my podcast. This week, in the theme of reducing stress as we approach the Christmas season, let's talk about cutting the energetic cord with somebody. In life, there are a great variety of relationships that are important to us, including those with our family members, our co-workers, neighbors, friends, or romantic partners. But not all of these relationships, either those that are current or those in the past, are healthy for us. Some people may be draining our energy or helping us in any way, shape, or form. Some relationships may even have been toxic. So what we're going to be focusing on is how we would cut that cord, psychologically speaking. We might do this because we feel stuck with regard to this particular relationship, or because this relationship causes us some degree of pain. We might feel drained of energy and drawn back to that particular person in some way. The person may not even be aware of the energetic attachment we have to them. This attachment might mean that we are preoccupied with thoughts about them. So when we talk about cord cutting, we're talking about a way to release ourselves from that negative energy, or from energy that does not serve us. Cutting the cord means that we're stepping back from or unhooking from the energy, from our pull. And what I would say, though, that this is not about blocking, suppressing, or denying feelings. It is also not about ignoring things that have been, and this is not a substitute for looking at things that have happened and discussing them with somebody you might trust. Okay, this is simply part of a range of techniques that we might use as part of getting distance from somebody. When I hear this technique talked about, I often get the impression, or people have the impression, that this might be an exercise you do once. Perhaps it is, but for many people, it is an exercise you might have to come back to, because there are two aspects to this. There is both the separating from somebody, in other words, putting up a barrier, cutting a cord, stepping back from, but there is also acknowledging the feelings that that relationship connects us to. When you want to cut the cord, the first thing I would like you to do is to really ground yourself and be clear within your own energy. In some practices, they ask for the person's permission, and I would say this is not something that you need to do. What is more important is that you are in as clear a position as possible for yourself. You are staying strong within your own energy, right? And you are giving yourself permission to cut this cord. Often these chords have all sorts of emotions associated with them, including feelings of guilt and feeling obliged, thoughts that you're not allowed to, thoughts that you need to ask permission, and so on. So doing this is about you giving yourself permission to change this relationship in your mind. I'm going to walk you through 2 variations of this exercise. In the first variation, what you might do is bring your energy, your awareness to yourself, noticing your feet on the ground, dropping your shoulders, and becoming aware of you as a separate being. Really aware of your own energy, your needs, and your right to be safe. Next, bring the other person into your mind, into your awareness, and visualize a cord going from you to them. This cord can be any color that you would like. It could be any thickness. It could be any texture, like cables or thin wires or rope. Imagine something that is useful to you and really see and acknowledge the connection between you and this person, and the feelings that you have, and the experiences that you have. And all the while, I would really like you to know that you are safe. If you know to do the butterfly hug, this might be a good time to do it. Or if you know how to tap, for example, tapping on your sternum point, that's also a good one. Dropping your shoulders and really seeing that connection. And then when you're ready, imagine cutting that cord in a way that is useful to you. You might imagine cutting it with scissors or an axe. You might imagine it tearing. And when you see this, often people feel it's useful to say something like, I'm cutting this cord. I'm allowing myself to be released. Or I'm saying goodbye. Deep breath in and breathe out. And after doing this, you might wash your hands. You might do something that is nurturing and restful. And this kind of close is what you would do in the second variation. In this second variation, which I really love, which I actually learned from a book by a therapist, Catherine, I'm just struggling to remember her surname. The book is called Calling in the One, and even though the title sounds like a very popular book, it's actually filled with really amazing psychotherapy techniques. But okay, in this exercise, what we do is we imagine a figure of 8. Imagine the loops that are in a figure of 8 and imagine them as light. So 2 circles of light connected in the middle. And place yourself in one of the circles. Okay? And really focus on the light around you, creating a protective space for your energy. Dropping your shoulders down and back, noticing your feet on the ground. Really take a moment to be in your own protective space, focusing on creating a safe place for you, where there you are with your thoughts, your beliefs, where you can be you. When you're ready, into the second loop, bring in the person who you would like to get some separation from. Bring them in and notice that they are in their own circle, connected to you, but separate nonetheless. When you bring them in, it is your choice whether you would like to use that space to have a discussion with them or to tell them some things or to simply be with them. And then you choose. You might see their circle move away. You might imagine cutting that cord that connects these two circles. You might imagine that the circle that they're in floats away into the distance, but in some way that is useful to you. In your mind's eye, you create separation, knowing that you and them are separate entities, and that while there has been an energetic tie, you are protecting your own space and putting up a barrier from absorbing energy and sensations and so on from them. So take a deep breath in, breathe out, really noticing your feet on the ground, dropping your shoulders. And again, after this, like the other exercise, I encourage washing your hands, really trying to be in your body with a degree of safety. And then journaling perhaps, or doing something that nourishes you. So I would love to hear what you thought of that. As with any of these exercises, I encourage you to only try them if you feel comfortable doing so, and to talk through them with somebody you trust. I would love to hear your thoughts and any questions. When I get the questions, I am very happy to answer them in a podcast, and that's what allows me to create content that I think might be of relevance to you. So take good care, especially as we head into this very busy time of the year, and talk soon.